it's Aaron the Ho, and here are all the rumors that I've come across in the last 30 days for Apple's iWatch. Now, we still don't know what it's going to be called. It could be the iWatch, or it could be something else. We don't know what it's going to look like because no parts have been leaked out. We don't know what the capacity, we don't know any of the hardware specs or what kind of display it's going to have, but we do know that it is going to be health-focused. These health-focused applications may include, sleep monitoring, activity tracking, as well as blood supply, oxygen level monitoring, and whatnot. So that's the 30,000-foot view of all the rumors that I've come across. Let's get into the details, and after we go through all the details, I'm going to tell you why I think the iWatch is going to be one of the greatest Apple products ever. Now, we don't know what it's going to be called. The internet is sticking to the iWatch, but it could be called the iBand, the iClock, the iTime Watch, an iCharm. The last one is my particular favorite. It's the iChronometer. Now, when the iPad came out, I was actually disappointed it was called the iPad because I thought it was kind of weird. The word pad is kind of weird to me anyways, but 4 years out, I'm really okay with the word pad, and most Apple products are named very simply, right? It's a single syllable followed by an I in front of it. So iWatch is most likely going to be it, but I'm still going to stick with iChronometer. So what do you guys think it's going to be called? Leave it in the comments section below. I'd like to know if I've missed a potential name for this new Apple product that is going to be a watch and is going to be an i something. There's a lot of concepts out there for the iWatch or the iChronometer. A lot of artists and designers are out there, taking a stab at what it might look like, and most of them is just basically a regular watch with something superimposed on it. There hasn't really been anything that leaps out at me, and so if you're interested in those concepts, just search them on the internet. They're everywhere. Now, for me personally, I am hoping that the iChronometer or the iWatch actually looks like a super evolved version of Samsung's Gear Fit. I think that's a great looking product, and I don't usually say that about Samsung things, but hey, if they can take that, what they've done, and I'm pretty sure Apple's probably figured out the design, but hey, I think it's going to look like a more evolved version of the Samsung Gear Fit. So all these concepts are really kind of personal preference, so if there is one that you really like, share it on our Google Plus page, and I'd like to see it. Now, in terms of protection, watches kind of need to be pretty rugged and pretty tough. Maybe not waterproof, but it needs to be water resistant. So it'll be interesting to see how tough the actual iWatch is. Given that Apple is a company that produces premium products, you would expect that this thing to be pretty resistant to a lot of things. It doesn't seem too far-fetched that the iWatch would actually be completely waterproof. The Galaxy S5 is, and we definitely know that there's technology, especially there's a company in town that does it for us. In terms of the screen display of the actual iWatch, there's a report from BGR, Boy Genius Report, saying that it's going to come with a curved flexible display, which would be pretty crazy. This seems a bit far-fetched given that smartphones are finally getting into the concept of using curved glass for the display. So having a curved flexible display, I think that would be way out in left field, but hey, if the sketchy report becomes true, it is going to be pretty awesome, I think. Now, in terms of the actual hardware, there is really nothing about it. We don't know what kind of processor is going to go into it. We don't know what kind of RAM is going to go into it. There is an article from Mac Rumors from over a month ago saying that, the battery life is going to be a problem. I think there's a great opportunity for Apple to introduce something really new in the, charging area of the battery. Wireless, or maybe it's a different kind of battery. I would really hate to have to plug in my iPhone and my iWatch into the wall socket every night, especially when, it's supposed to come with like sleep monitoring. So could you imagine having to plug your iWatch into the socket and try to sleep? Like, there's a good chance you might, strangle yourself. Now, the functionality portion of the iWatch is what's generating all the buzz in the last 30 days, and if any of the rumors, or if half the rumors come true, or if most of the rumors come true, this thing is going to make us incredibly healthy. And that's what makes me so excited about this device. That's coming up. Now, about a month ago, Apple Insider reported that Apple might be using optoelectronics to measure blood oxygen supply levels as well as heart rate. Now, optoelectronics, from my understanding, is technology or sensors that measures the light refracted back from your body. So, the iWatch might be pushing light into your body and then just measuring the return to see, what's going on underneath the skin. Now, this rumor does seem to have a bit of weight behind it, given that Apple has hired this guy called Marcello Lamango, I'm not quite sure. I just butchered that name, I apologize. And also this guy, Michael O'Reilly, to deal with all these optoelectronic sensors. So this seems like a sure thing for the iWatch. Another interesting development that adds to the health-related apps of the iWatch is the hiring of Roy Raymond, who is a sleep expert from Philips Research. Now, sleep monitoring to me is a pretty big thing. I've been using an app called Sleep Cycle for the last couple of years, and it works very, very well. Having that sleep monitoring ability on your iWatch is going to be very useful. Now, the last thing that is health app related is the discovery an Apple patent that deals with a super smart pedometer algorithm. that learns. Now, the first thing that comes to my mind when it comes to pedometers are all those corporate challenges that, a group of people are given a bunch of pedometers and then they're supposed to accumulate all these steps to see who would win. There's that one guy who sits in his basement at night, fiercely shaking the pedometer so that he can get as many steps as he possibly can. That super smart pedometer algorithm will definitely help in those competitions. So out of all those rumors that I've just listed, there's really 3 big ones. Which one do you think is most likely going to happen? Leave them in the comments section below. I'd like to know what you guys think. Now let's talk about the price of this wonderful device, the iWatch or iChronometer. And an article came across in one of my feeds from kpopstars.com. Now, I'm not going to go quote the article because it's a Korean pop star news site, but I will say that I think it's going to be a pretty expensive piece of equipment. Pebble Steel Watch is about $250. Your Samsung Gear stuff sits around $250 to $300. I'm thinking that the Apple iWatch is going to be about $350. It's not going to be cheap, but nobody should be surprised because Apple produces premium products at a premium and sells them for a premium price. So don't get upset if you're going to have to spend a lot of money for this little thing that you're going to wear on your wrist. So why do I think the iWatch is going to be awesome? Well, every little thing that I've talked about in this rumor roundup, if it becomes true, is going to be incredibly useful on its own. The sleep monitoring, the activity monitoring, the blood supply and the heart rate monitoring, all those things by themselves are very useful. But can you imagine all the things you would discover about yourself when you start integrating all that data together? It's kind of like the Genius recommendations in iTunes. It tells you what to kind of listen to next. And there's a good chance that your iWatch is going to do the same thing. It's going to tell you to, start moving because you've been a lazy fat ass for about 4 hours sitting on your couch. It's going to be able to tell you that, you've been sitting on the toilet too long, you might get hemorrhoids. And it might get to a certain point where it may predict certain ailments. There is an article saying that the iWatch might actually be able to predict heart attacks, which would be a pretty crazy thing. What do you guys think? I know this is kind of borderline on, kind of creepy having this technology watch every move, but I think it would be very useful and beneficial to me anyways. So those are all the rumors that I've got for the last 30 days about the iChronometer. Now, if this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, I do encourage you to click subscribe, as every single week we do a rumor roundup for the iPhone 6 or for the iOS 8 or for any general Apple stuff, as well as the iWatch, which is what we're doing right now. I also do a lot of product reviews, so every single week we focus on one mobile accessory, whether it be a stylus, a case for an iOS device, and we create a series of videos for it. So you get something new almost every single day. I'd love to know what you guys think about what the iWatch is. If there's any articles that I'm missing you feel that I should address, leave them in the comments section below or share them on our Google Plus page. I'm Aaron the Ho, and I've been saving money for the iWatch for about 2 weeks now. I'm excited. Thanks for watching.